I am so glad you're here. I have been waiting a hot minute to tell you exactly what's going on. Yeah, it's Sunday and there's big stuff cooking, and you're my friend, and I've been waiting for this moment to let you know what's going on in my heart. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Annie Thrasher. I am an artist, I'm a mom, I'm a daughter, I'm a sister. I work for corporate America. I have a lengthy resume and I've been fired a lot. I'm a failure, a sinner, an addict, a prayer warrior, and more than anything, I am a follower of Jesus. Welcome. So I'm an artist. I'm pretty well known as a painter, but I like to let my creativity leak out in all sorts of different ways. Love expressing myself with style and fashion, and to be a walking piece of art. And recently I've been working on something a little different. This project started over a decade ago in a tumultuous season of my life, but most of the seasons of my life are somewhat tumultuous. And I wrote a book about my origin, and as I started grappling with who I was and why I was the way that I was, things spilled out that I wasn't even sure how they had gotten so lost inside of me. So this past December, I was at the cabin, and I felt like Papa was saying it was time to publish this manuscript, even though it had been over a decade and I wasn't even sure if the manuscript was saved. And there was an argument between the divine and me, and obviously God won. So it won't be long now, and there's going to be a book I can't wait to share with you. A lot of people are probably wondering what this story's all about. And it's the first 23 years of my life. I have a lot. It starts with being engrafted into an incredible family, but it goes pretty quickly into some childhood trauma that really changed and altered the trajectory of my life. And it wasn't until I was writing this book that I realized how large of an impact that childhood trauma had had on my development. But the story continues, because what happens in our childhood often is covered up by faded memories and questions and shame, and we don't really know how to pull our childhood memories into reality and help them make sense. So writing the story was actually my healing process, or part of my healing process, to make sense out of these foggy, weird, disjointed memories from my childhood. But as I grew up, it was discovered that I was maybe kind of smart, pretty quirky, and there were things going on with my intelligence where I got shuffled into a pretty neat world, and yet I've never really fit in. I've always kind of been a loner, never had a clique, and never really felt like I belonged anywhere. And so the rejection and the pain of just being weird, on top of having this covered up childhood trauma, produced a pretty painful social dynamic for me as I was growing up. So that then dumps me into the real world, post school, like all of the things that you were as a child and then you learned in school with your social peers, and then you go out into the real world. What do you become? Who are you? And I dive pretty deep into those stories. And I was a young mom, I was a young wife. I made decisions very impulsively and did kind of the best I knew to do. But the book talks about the reality of living and the falsity of religion that says if you believe in this God, your life will be good and easy. And if you don't believe in this God, then your life is going to be bad. So then what happens when you have like a really hard, traumatic existence? Does that mean that God doesn't love you, or that you don't love God, that you're not enough? So this book explores what it felt like to be traumatized, what it felt like to be rejected, what it felt like to be bullied, what it felt like to be abused. And it's just the beginning, but how I was able to pull all of that together and still believe that the creator of the universe, the creator of the stars, the creator of the flowers loves me and made me just the way that I am for this world. And that's what I'm here to share, is that it doesn't matter what you've been through. I am proof that all things work together for good for those who are called according to the purpose of love. This book it's an expression of surrender. This book is an expression of love. This is not easy for me to release it out into the world and kind of let all of my stuff be dissected by anyone and everyone who wants to pick up a book. I knew I needed to write this in my own season to help my own self heal. But as it continued to pour out of me, it became very clear that the things that I've learned in life might actually help other people who are going through trauma and pain and things that they just don't understand. So putting this story together, putting all of these words together and compiling this into something that I believe is art for you has been excruciating and exhilarating, and I hope it translates as an offering that whatever hard thing you find yourself in life right now, there is something that can help and you will get through it. I'm proof, and I am here to see you through. So I think something that's really important in life is somebody's story, right? Who you are and how you got where you are and what makes you you. And I think that everybody has a story. And some people have some pretty amazing stories. And some people have brutal stories. And my story is all of the above. High highs, probably some of the most amazing mountaintop scenes of all. Low lows, desperate valleys of brokenness and betrayal and pain that I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. And so this book is the beginning. It's the birth of me writing my story for others to read, who want to know why I have so much joy, why I have so much tenacity, why I'm relentlessly pursuing a life that's bigger and better than anything that mediocrity or the status quo tells me that I have available to me. I believe in abundant life. I believe that Jesus came and died so that I can have abundant life. And if I believe that, then I've got to chase it down like it means something. So I am excited to share my story with you, and I'm excited to even grow further and share all of my stories with you guys as time goes by. One of the things that you've got to remember about your own story, or when you're getting to know someone, or maybe even just like trying to practice self-awareness and realize that everybody has a story, is that adversity is actually, it's a make or break kind of thing, right? You can either allow your adversity and your trauma and your pain and your betrayal to destroy you, to turn you into something absolutely pathetic, or you can allow it to help you grow and empower you. Have an amazing painting that I'll show you here shortly. It says, manure makes great fertilizer. And the reality is that we all go through what sometimes, but do you let it grow you, or do you just walk around complaining about how shitty your life is? You can actually take everything bad that's ever happened to you and you can turn it into like stepping stones to help you level up. And learning how to embrace the obstacles and the challenges and the really hard stuff. And y'all, I've been through some really hard stuff. I actually know people who have been through way harder stuff than me as well. But I've watched people either become victors or victims. And this is an invitation and an encouragement for you to see everything that's ever happened to you as an opportunity to become an even better version of yourself. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up for today. I think that you guys have enough at least to wet your whistle and to maybe get you excited about what I have to say next. But I just want you to know that sincerely, this is difficult for me to do. It's difficult for me to put myself out there, but I sincerely want to take my story and help other people find joy and redemption and grace and abundance. Love you, mean it, and I'll see you the next time.